Hello folks, how's it going? So welcome to my review of another review of Super Dragon Ball Heroes, this time episode 34. And I gotta say, in terms of quality, this was a huge improvement from the previous episode. I think this is a new arc, even though it's still under the same title, Big Bad Mission. By the way, I gotta say, I like how this episode started with the action, but I like how it twisted, how Goku and Hearts now have to collect the Dragon Ball. So I like that. I didn't expect that because it's more or less a promotional anime. And that's the thing a lot of people need to kind of remember here is to promote the card game in Japan. So that's why we get so many faces appear in so many different arcs. This is no exception. We see Frieza and Golden Metal Cooler. They both attack with the power of the Dark Star Dragon Balls, as given information by Hearts to Goku because he has intel thanks to Demigra. So they both go in and attack Hearts and Goku simultaneously. I like that because we don't see that very often. Frieza and Cooler, but because of the Dark Star Dragon Balls, they can't control themselves. They go berserk. For those that are familiar with the history of Super Dragon Ball Heroes, you know what those Dark Star Dragon Balls do. It gives them even more strength than before. We've seen that so many times. And obviously, Goku's tapped out from go into Ultra Instinct, so he can't do much. So, and they're giving Hearts a problem too. So it's interesting. He can't use his gravity or cubes at this point. And then before it looks even worse for them, out of nowhere in comes Broly. Now I stated in my last review because Vegeta and Broly got sucked into this new parallel universe, this fake universe 7. I stated that they obviously by default Vegeta and Broly should be there too, and wouldn't you know, we got Broly in this episode, and we get Vegeta by the end of this episode. So it looks like our theory has planned itself out. Plus, if you consider the fact that Vegeta is also in the title, in the visual, in the opening, I made that point in the previous episode review. It makes no sense if Vegeta wasn't there, so it looks like he is here and he's ready to play. But Broly first, income. Firstly, I have to say, this episode had a huge increase in quality in art style and animation, at least for certain parts of this episode. Like when Broly came in, you noticed the difference in art style. Even when certain shots with Golden Frieza and Golden Metal Cooler look epic as hell. Also, I'm pretty sure that soundtrack we got from Broly, I think we've heard that before, but the soundtrack where Frieza and Cooler attack, I don't think we've heard that. I think that's a new track, so that's pretty cool. The way Broly attacks Goku and Hearts first, they can't do much about that. Golden Metal Cooler and Golden Frieza, they both try to attack Broly, which turns out to be a huge mistake because it fires off a huge energy blast, which I honestly thought he actually destroyed both of them, which would have been insane because when you consider the fact how strong Golden Metal Cooler is and Frieza are. But no, he just sent them crashing into a cliff. So that was pretty impressive. Even though it didn't KO him, it was still impressive nonetheless. I'm still surprised that Broly, he didn't go into his Super Saiyan 4 limit break mode, or at least Super Saiyan 4 mode. So that's impressive as well. So he's in his legendary Super Saiyan mode, going ham, going berserk on everyone, which is ironic considering that Cooler and Frieza were also out of control. You have Time Breaker Goku Black observing all of this while this is going down. Then you have the mysterious figure who was on the previous episode, who we don't know who that is yet, but I have my theories and I speculated because of who we saw in this episode. It kind of now is because there's so many lookalikes of Goku in this arc. You have Goku Black, you have Turles, who we saw in this episode, and you also have Goku himself. I'm inclined to think that's probably Bardock, although I don't really know for sure. Especially with the scar in his hand, we don't know. But if I had to major guess, although it kind of begs the question, how was he able to do what he did? Not only against Broly, but the way he was able to remove the Dark Star Dragon Balls away from Golden Frieza and Golden Metal Cooler. Like, after Frieza and Cooler got back up, they both tried to attack and both got the Dragon Balls removed from them. So how is he able to do that? Unless he has some type of knowledge of getting those away. So it could be Bardock, we don't know. But that's my guess anyway. At least at this juncture, I don't know who else it could be at this point. You guys know who that mysterious figure, unless you have some type of spoilers, don't post them. But if you have some type of guess who you think that mysterious figure is, then post your comments down below. But yeah, the way he was able to outmaneuver and Cooler and Frieza and then grab the Dragon Balls and the better of them was pretty epic. Then he just invites Broly, who he gets his attention immediately. And when you consider the fact that Kakarot or Goku is a focus of his anger, and he ignored that and he went straight after him after this figure, whoever it is, invited Broly to come after him. So they fly away. He gets them away from Goku and Hearts, and they go elsewhere, and that's the last we see of them. So that's pretty intriguing. I gotta say that mysterious figure has to be one of the most intriguing things when you consider the fact that Hearts said he couldn't read his mind, which nobody else could do that apparently. So he's able to avoid having his mind read. So as I say, I don't know what happened to Frieza and Cooler. I don't know if they disappeared or what happened, but Hearts and Goku got left alone. So they had time to convey and figure out what's going on around here. And you kind of need a breather to figure out what the hell's going on anyway. So Hearts reveals he has a sensory being and he has knowledge of how these things work because of he's been investigating around in this parallel fake universe 7. So that was interesting. So he gives Goku a senzu bean. So obviously that's going to get him back on his feet and back into the fight. So I'm pretty sure because they're gathering Dragon Balls and we see them go to Capsule Corp, which I do like because it's nostalgia, because it's the Dragon Radar and everything. So it looks like it's going to be a quest for the Dragon Balls, but I feel like Goku Black also had one, because we saw him in the previous episode. We know he had a Dark Star Dragon Ball as well. So, and he's also with where Vegeta is right now. So that's probably going to lead them, Goku and Hearts, to Vegeta in the next episode. I'm pretty sure, at least in a couple of episodes. Just because these Dragon Balls are replicas, even if they're Dark Star Dragon Balls, they should work like the Senzu Beans work, even though it's a parallel fake universe. It still has the same effect. So if they gather the Dragon Balls, maybe it could grant them the wish of getting out of here. Although I don't think it's going to be that easy, personally. Once they find out the blip on the radar, they find out there's another Dragon Ball nearby. It's up above, and we go to a palace where Cumber and Turles, who I mentioned previously, they're staring down Vegeta, who's got obviously messed up. I'm assuming that's because we saw Goku messed up, right, when we first saw him in this universe. So it makes sense Vegeta would be ragged out as well. But he's going to be put to the test, based Turles, obviously, and more importantly, Cumber, who we know how powerful he is. So in one episode, we got Broly back in action, we got Cumber back in action, Vegeta's back against the wall. Goku Black is observing all of this. He hasn't made a move yet. And we also have that mysterious figure who's about to clash with Broly. Now, I'm going to say, I've said this multiple times, like, because you have Broly and Cumber literally back in action, this would be a good opportunity to have Broly come back in. But although considering the fact that he's clashing with that mysterious figure, I'm not too sure if that's going to happen just yet. But there's a lot of interesting dynamics going on right now, and I like that. That's usually when Super Dragon Ball heroes are at the best, so I can't wait to see what goes on from there. And the more I think about it, I think it's actually a good thing that Toa and Mira took a back step, and Fu also took a back step. That could be the reason why they decided to have Fu and Vegito, Time Patrol Vegito, sealed in time to keep them out of the picture for now. Because if they were involved in this arc, they would kind of get overshadowed by the amount of villains that have appeared now. Because we have Golden Metacooler, we have Golden Frieza, we have Goku Black, Timebreaker Goku Black, which is badass enough. We haven't seen, God only knows what's going to happen when he goes to Super Saiyan Rose. We have Broly, we know that version of Broly can go Super Saiyan 4. And you also have Vegeta and Goku, plus Turles. You have that mysterious figure, and now Hearts. So that's quite a lot of players in one arc. If you brought Toa and Mira back, they would kind of get overshadowed by that. So I hope happens, they come back into the picture once this is all settled, once this is all said and done, regardless of what happens with this plan, with the Dark Star Dragon Balls, because that's clearly the plan here, to gather them all, to gather the Dark Star Dragon Balls on the side of Goku and Hearts, at least for the time being, and probably the Time Patrol. I wonder if they're going to play a role as well, like Supreme Kai of Time and Trunks. We saw them in the previous episode, so maybe they have something to do. But yeah, this is definitely getting interesting. There's a rumor going around because there's a visual. I saw it on Twitter. I'm not going to pay too much attention to it, other than this visual has the main players we see in the opening in the visual, but they've also added Perfect Cell with a halo over his head. I'm not going to say that's definitely going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised. But as of right now, that's just a visual. Nothing's been confirmed yet, at least not to my estimation. And I'm not going to go out my way to check out because I kind of want to. I don't want to be spoiled on anything, but I saw this all over on Twitter, so I just decided to bring that up. So let me know what you guys think about that. If you think it's legit or not. I personally don't care. It'd be cool to see Perfect Cell, but we've already got enough bodies as it is. So let's see where we go with that. On also, it's a decent episode with a lot of decent animation. I have to say that. I also like the soundtrack, the OST choice in this episode. That was pretty cool. So that's going to do it for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Like the review if you did. Hit that thumbs up. I appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel for more Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Catch you guys later. Thanks, guys.